Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new video. Today, I'm going to be giving you guys 15 tips I wish I knew sooner in Valorant. So without further ado, this has been your boy D-Rose. So let's get straight into these tips. So starting off with tip number 1, practice being aggressive. And I know some of you are going to sit there and be like, you know what? I like playing passive. But what you don't understand is that having a more supportive playstyle is actually not going to get you far in the rank. Go to a deathmatch, grab a duelist, try running it down with only W key, and simply just playing as aggressive as possible. This is going to help you improve your mechanics as you'll be taking more fights. It's going to allow you to gain more confidence in each gunfight you take, and this is definitely something I wish I knew earlier on when starting my Valorant journey. Next up, we're going to move on to tip number 2. Stop obsessing over your rank. Getting super nervous when playing a rank up game or demolishing your mental when you're deranking, this really affects how you play out the rest of your matches and forces you into a bad habit of constantly worrying about your RR rather than focusing on the game and bettering yourself. Doing this is the biggest waste of time, and thinking of your rank 24/7 will not make you rank up, but will actually do the complete opposite. You should be focused on improving your mechanics and aim, and not just some image that holds no essential value and is worthless. This was by far my biggest downfall in my early in Valorant days. Next up, moving on to tip number 3, understanding verticality. What I mean when I say verticality is using the map's layout to position yourself either higher or lower than the common angles that get pre-fired or peeked instantly. Considering we are taught basically everywhere to work on crosshair placement, meaning learning how to position yourself properly gives you an advantage as the enemy now has to reposition their crosshair if you are higher or lower than the common angles. Doing this is going to allow you to win more gunfights, and it is something I really wish I knew earlier on. Moving on now to tip number 4, losing streak demotivation. Just because you are currently going through the red carpet does not mean you should let it affect you. Bro, it is RR. Yeah, it'll look cool to be at a high rank, but you know what's even better? Having higher rank people telling you that you belong in a higher rank than you are. RR comes and goes, just like women in my life. Yeah, but don't worry, if you focus on bettering yourself, you will see the RR come back over time. The losing streak is just temporary, and every game is still winnable. Tip number 5, aim means nothing without movement. When I first started playing Valorant, I aim trained like no tomorrow. That's all I did because I thought if I had good aim, I would be able to win every gunfight and rank up. Easy, right? No. When in reality, that's not the case. You could have godlike aim like 10s, but if your movement is dog shit like an iron, it won't mean anything. Being able to aim is really cool, and it is super beneficial, don't get me wrong, but being able to aim really good and having really good movement like counter strafing is just so overpowered, and it's going to help you climb the ranks like no tomorrow. Because like I said before, if you have good aim, but you miss that first shot and you don't know how to strafe properly, the enemy is just going to beat you in the gunfight. So work on your movement just as much as your aim. Moving on, tip number 6, learn every agent decently. When I say decently, I mean become familiar with their utility usage. Like just become familiar with the majority of the agents, that's all. Because if you only play and lock one agent, you will not make it far in the ranks due to the fact that as you get into higher rankings, there are going to be players who are going to lock agents that you play quicker than you. And then you're going to be stuck on an agent who you have no idea how to play and don't know how to use their utility to your advantage or to help your team at all. This is generally just a bad thing to happen, because I know some of you guys have watched and have hopped into a comp match that have had someone playing an agent that made you take a step back and be like, use your util, bro, or dude doesn't know how to flash properly. These are just some examples of things your teammates will say, and basically it's going to be a 4v5 because you have no idea how to play that agent. So learn each agent so you're not stuck in a position like this. Next up, tip number 7, always warm up. It is so crucial to have a warm up. You need to get your reaction speed and your aim ready, so you're not just warming up mid-comp match and then wonder why you're not getting any kills or that your aim is bad. Warm up, set a routine, and just watch how your first games go. I neglected this when first starting out in Valorant because I thought it was just muscle memory, but I was so wrong. You need to warm up the muscles in order for them to actually properly work. Otherwise, it's just gonna be useless, and you're just gonna go into a comp match and miss all your shots the first game. So please, always warm up. Tip number 8, communicate. Wow, that rhymed. Look at that. This was so underrated when I first started out. I would just get pissed off and tilted and not give any comms anymore. When in reality, if you want to win games, you need to hype your team up, keep yours and their mental up, as it's gonna result in a higher success rate for you in the long run. I never calmed when I started playing this game, but I realized quickly that it is one of the most important aspects of a team game. So get out there, use your mic. We all know you have one, and if you don't, then go get one from the dollar store. It ain't hard, because I know you guys out there be buying Valorant skins. You have enough to buy a microphone. Tip number 9, use your mini map. I never understood understood how crucial your mini-map was. It helps you with having awareness of both what you and your teammates see in order to decipher where the enemies are placed. So if you see 4 people on A, use your mini-map, use that information, regroup with your team, and now go B. It's pretty simple. It makes it so useful to take rounds easier. It also helps give you and your team information on the whereabouts of enemies so you guys can counter it and pick a higher success rated site in order to win a round. I'm telling you, the mini-map is underrated. Use it. Tip number 10, focus on yourself. When you're in the middle of a round, don't worry about what Sage is doing on the opposite side of the map. Focus on what's your screen and your screen only. I've seen it and I've had it happen to me way too many times where I'll be anchoring a site, look up on my mini-map, start getting frustrated on why my teammates aren't rotating or doing whatever they're doing, and then boom, right in front of my eyes, there's a Cypher who stands there staring at me like a chicken with his head cut off and just kills me. So please, learn from my mistakes and don't get caught up focusing on your teammates. Trust me, this is the biggest tip to help you guys focus on improving yourself. Next up, tip number 11, surround yourself with better and motivated players. And I know, although usually we end up only starting to play our Valorant journey because one of our friends tells us about it.
Oh, hey guys, look at this, play this great game with me, blah, 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 sure, cool.
But there's gonna come a time, and I know some of you have already experienced this, but you have to make the tough decision if you are serious about wanting to improve at the game, and that is by finding a different duo or group of people that are ready to actually climb the ranks and compete, and just watch how fast you'll improve. It's just like real life. They tell you to surround yourself with people who have the same goals as you because people around you is genuinely gonna reflect yourself. Tip number 12, calm yourself in clutches. Slow your mind down. Don't panic. Try to isolate your fights. Use your ability to find out where the enemies are and isolate your fights. Use your utility and play the game. Whether it's a 1v1, a 1v5, stay calm and become more confident in yourself to win those rounds. Trust me, it'll work in your favor by doing this. Basically, you just need to be confident in your abilities to win gunfights. Tip number 13, learn the maps and the callouts. This is essential to give comms or receive them from teammates and not be left stranded not knowing where anything is. This is going to hold you back in the long run when you're in a 1v1 and a teammate calls out a position where the enemy was last seen in and you have no idea where it is. You're lost. And then the enemy turns around, pops the corner where your teammate just called out but you had no idea, and now you're dead and you lose a round. This is a crucial tip I wish I knew earlier, as it would have helped me clutch way more rounds. Next up, tip number 14, use different guns in deathmatch. Trying other guns besides just the Vandal and Phantom to get your accuracy up with every gun, you'd be surprised how this actually is going to help with your Vandal and Phantom aim in your next competitive match. Trying to work on your movement with unique guns will overall help with your movement when having a Vandal or Phantom in your hand. When I talk about using unique guns or trying different guns, I'm talking about Sheriffs, Ghosts, Guardians, other guns where movement is key. And just watch how fast your aim becomes more precise when using a Vandal or Phantom in your next comp match. Last but not least, tip number 15, stop comparing yourself to others. I got stuck in the trap of comparing myself to others and why I wasn't as good at certain things like aiming or movement as them. But once I started to realize I needed to focus solemnly just on myself, I found that the other people started actually comparing themselves to me. And by the way, that is the biggest ego boost ever. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. These are 15 tips I wish I knew sooner when starting out in Valorant. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like down below, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment what you guys want to see in another video or in the future. And without further ado, this has been your boy D-Rose, and I'll catch you in a brand new video.